So now that we have our look and feel and navigation created, let's add some content. I'm going to click on Modules. And since I'm building in modules, the first thing I'm going to do is under Build Content, I'm going to put in a content folder. And I am going to call this Module 1. And I don't know, this is about theories. So here, you'd want to put an intro, maybe your module outcomes, and anything else that a student would need to know about this particular folder. You can also set it as a display, so if this is your first 2 weeks, and then you can set up your module 2 for your second 2 weeks, you can do that right here. And then I'm just going to choose Submit. So now I have a content folder created under Module 1. So now I'm going to click into Module 1. Now I'm going to build an assignment. So we'll choose Assignment, and we'll give this assignment a name, Case Study 1. We can put any instructions here. And then we can browse our computer and attach a file, or we can browse the content collection, which would include all of the information you have from all your Blackboard courses. I'm just going to browse my computer. Choose that. And now you can have the ability to set a due date. Submissions will be accepted late, but they'll be marked late. For points possible, I'm going to say 75 because we want to link it with gradebook, and we definitely want to add a rubric. So we're going to create a new rubric for this, and I've got to bring it over to the other screen. So here, this will be our case study rubric, and once we create this, if we have multiple case studies, we can link back to this same rubric each time. We don't have to keep creating it. But it's very easy. You can see you can add additional rows, additional columns. You can swap the level of achievements. You can change the order. Let's make it go that way and submit. It'll change for you. And you also have the ability to customize this. So let's say instead of competent, you wanted to put needs improvement. You have the ability to customize everything. And the same thing with the weighting and the critical elements. So let's call this theories, save. And then here, I just take my existing rubric that I have either on paper or saved on a Word doc, and I'm just going to cut and paste all my information in, right? And so you're going to do that for each of these columns. And then you just can adjust the weights, make sure it totals 100. And then at the very bottom, you can hit Submit. And now you can see my case study rubric is there. And I want to allow students to see it. You have the ability with scores, without scores, or after grading. I'm just going to say yes with scores. For submission details, this is an individual submission. And I'm going to make it multiple attempts. So I'm going to give students 2 attempts to do this. We're going to use their last graded attempt, and I'm going to use Safe Assign, which is Blackboard's built-in plagiarism tool. And I'm also going to allow students to view their originality reports. For grading options, I typically won't do anything. If you had a teaching assistant, you could delegate grading. For display of grades, you can display in a variety of ways. I always include it in grade center calculations, and I like my students to see their grades. Make this assignment available all the time, or you can limit the availability. And then you just choose Submit. And now I'm going to go and view this as a student. So we're going to enter student preview mode. And I'm going to click on Modules and Module 1. And here is the case study. I can see as a student it's worth 75 points. I can view the rubric that you created. shows up on my other screen, and there it is. So I know exactly what I need to do. And that's how you create an assignment in Blackboard.